Hey, I'm Red, and today I'm going to try to explain how Star Citizen actually works, because there's a lot of misinformation and lies and rumors and other rubbish going on, and I don't really have any skin in the game, but I feel like I have a lot of friends that want to play this game, but then they hear something negative or something crazy, and it kind of puts them off, so I thought, I'm just going to make a video about it, try to explain it, and if it helps, it helps. So, first things first, it's completely free to make an account. It costs no money, there's no subscription, there's no, put in your details before you sign up or anything. You can just make a free account. Now, that doesn't give you full access to the game. You'd have to wait for there to be a free play week, which is usually every 2 months. You can play the game completely free. All you have to do is make a free account, it's super easy. So you don't actually have to pay. If you are patient and you want to actually test the game for yourself, see how it runs, you can do that. There is no rush. You can still use a referral code when you make a free account. I'll chuck mine on screen if you want to use that when you make it. You basically get some free credits. You can also get free ships worth a fair amount of money, depending on if there's an event going on, but Star Citizen will, announce that kind of stuff as well. But it's completely free. There is no payment required for certain things. Just putting that out there. Now, secondly, and probably the biggest thing, is going to be the pledge store slash buying ships with real money as opposed to in-game money. If you go on the website, you go to the shop, this is what people are talking about. They're talking about the actual real money pledge store, which is basically a clever way of saying it's not a real store, you're pledging towards development. The game's pretty much feature complete. The whole, it's in alpha is a little bit of a legal loophole, if we're being honest. But you don't have to spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars to play this game. It is cheaper than most games of its level, realistically. If you go here on the website, this is where you buy an actual copy of the game. So a game package is basically a game, right? If that makes sense. And you see in the top left here, you can set this by price or by whatever you want, but the cheapest one is $49.50 in USD. That is all you have to pay to play the game whenever you want, whether it's free flight or not. That's all you have to pay. You don't have to pay a cent more ever. You can buy this little Mustang, and you can fly around, have fun, make friends, play the game. I started with an Aurora. It's the cheapest one I could get. Got that, had tons of fun. Eventually upgraded to, I think, to like a little medical Pisces or something like that. But you don't need to spend more than $49 to play this game. And there are even sales when it's cheaper, like $40 or $45. You can also use coupons if your friends give them to you. Like, this whole idea of you have to pay insane amounts to play the game, or you have to pay like some sort of continuous thing, is insane, and it's just not true. It's cheaper than a lot of games of similar quality. The point of the matter is that is all you need. You don't have to buy these other ones, these generalist starter packs or outsider starter packs or the ultimate explorer pack. You don't need any of that. All you need is this little baby Mustang. Now, of course, there's going to be differences between what you get. So the Mustang is a very small ship. You can't sleep on board. It's got 6-month insurance. You get 10,000 credits. So it is a starter ship. It is currently the cheapest ship you can buy to get the game. And if you go down here to the $1,265 edition, you get a Carrack, which is quite a large ship, or medium to large ship, a little Pisces, a Cyclone car, a Terrapin, which is another kind of small to medium ship, a 400i, which is a medium ship, and then an X1 Force, which is like a hover bike. You also get some, personalized stuff for naming them. You get a few more credits, lifetime insurance instead of 6 months, but insurance doesn't really matter at this point, and it's likely something that isn't going to be as big of a deal as people make it out to be. So there is obviously a difference between what you get, but this is all you need. Now, you can also look at the Warbond stuff. So the difference between Warbond and non-Warbond. Warbond is usually cheaper. So you see this Outsider pack here, $93. Outsider Alien Week starter pack, which basically the only difference is it comes with a paint job. And is probably, because it's a Warbond, going to be a lifetime insurance, if I can find it. 24-month insurance. So even this Warbond doesn't have LTI. It does come with some paint, the game copy, a couple pieces of armor, a painted gun, a few more credits than normal, and it has a little bit more insurance. To me, that's really not worth it. If you really want to spend more than the minimum for whatever reason, and it's your first ship and you're not planning on making this massive fleet for some reason, the Duelist starter pack is probably the best ship. It's an Avenger Titan, it's got a little bit of cargo in the back, you can put a very small little golf buggy or hover bike in there. It's a cool little ship, but that is the maximum I would suggest. There is no reason to get anything higher than this, realistically. If you really want to push it, for some reason, you could get the Avenger Titan. The other thing people confuse is how the store works. So this is all you actually need. Now if you go down here to ships, you've got all the ships currently available in the store. So here's the Avenger Stalker from the game packages, same with the Arrow. There's a few new ships and other things. I'm sure this Warbond will actually be an LTI unlike the previous one. There it is, lifetime insurance. These are ships that you do not need to buy. You can buy these in-game. You can get this in-game, you can even rent it in-game. This is in-game. This only came out a couple weeks ago, so it is not yet in-game, but in a couple months it will be in-game. Everything that releases new gets anywhere between 2 to 6 months, depending on kind of the size or scale of what it's working with. In this case, the Asgard here only came out a few weeks ago. It'll probably be buyable in-game in 2 months' time. So unless you really want to spend $400, you can just wait and use it in-game. It's like any other game, any other subscription service, anything, you know, and this has been the standard for a decade now. You pay a little bit, and then you get it early, and then everyone else gets it. It's not really something to complain about. If people want to spend/waste money on that, they can do that. I'll say it again, you only need to spend 49 bucks. Everything else is available in game. You want to get one of the best fighters? You can buy it in game. The F7C, you can also earn the F7A, which is the military variant, which is even better. There was a point where you could buy them, but now you can't. And the only way to get them is in game. So there's plenty of opportunity. Now you might not be able to do it completely by yourself on day one. You're gonna have to earn it, you're gonna have to work for it. But that's the point of buying a game, is to actually play the game. But 99% of these vehicles, you can either earn, rent, unlock, or buy in-game, with no additional money spent other than the $49 for that little game package. And that is all you need. You can go into the pledge store, you can look at paints, or upgrades, or gear, or anything. These are all things that are very cool and very fancy, but you don't need to buy them. You want to get this cool paint? Go ahead. You want to get this weird armor? Go ahead. But there's no necessity for it. You can find most of this stuff in game. Now if it's new like these ones, or this one, which only came out a month or two ago, there might be a couple months before it's findable in game, and that's just how things work. If you pay for something, you deserve to get it a little earlier than someone who doesn't pay for it. Now when it comes to cosmetics, that's completely fine. When it comes to PvP and, you know, competitiveness, it's a little bit different. But these are cosmetics. These have no effect on the game other than looking cool. So that is commonplace in everywhere, whether you like it or not. That's society. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Anyway, I just wanted to clear that up because so many people, I don't even think it's a lack of understanding. I think it's arguing and fighting for the sake of arguing and fighting, because I've hated this game, I've loved this game, I've played it, I've uninstalled it, you know, and played other things in the meantime. Like, I'm not some like die-hard, this game is perfect. But stop lying to people that want to play the game by saying, oh, you know, you have to spend this much and you have to do this and you have to do that. You can spend 49 bucks and you can play the game and you can unlock the Carrack, you can unlock the Cutlass Black or any ship if you work hard enough for it. You can join a team, just message people in game. There's not a great system to team up with people, but there is a global chat which has access to every single person on the server. And you can say, hey, does anyone want to play? Does anyone want to do this? Does anyone want to, you know, teach me how to play? And people will help. I help people all the time. So you can absolutely earn that money, earn those ships, and get what you want with just spending 49 bucks. You don't have to spend $1,200 ever. Hopefully some of that rambling made sense, and if you enjoyed, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.